James Pinder was boss of one of Australia's biggest rail networks. He's also at the centre of a money scandal investigated by the Anti-Corruption Commission. Tonight, we track him down with some questions.
He always calls it a sprinkle, doesn't he?
He's the CEO caught taking a sprinkle. Or was that hundreds and thousands?
We have been hand-feeding him everything. For the last 4 or 5 years, everything he's got, he's been delivered it on a plate.
An allegedly rotten rail boss accused of topping up more than his train ticket and railroaded by hard-working detectives with phone taps, raids and secret cameras.
Do you plan on paying some of the money back that you took? Victoria's regional rail provider, known as V-Line, has had a troubled history. After being the subject of multiple anti-corruption investigations, V-Line drafted in an outsider to run things. Englishman James Pinder was supposed to come free of crooked connections, but as you're about to see, it's alleged Mr. Pinder went badly off the rails himself.
James Pinder came to V-Line with 32 years' experience, but it took mere months of investigating by the Anti-Corruption Commission to find evidence of allegedly crooked cleaning contracts made between Pinder and George Haratos, the boss of cleaning giant TransClean. Evidence presented at a recent anti-corruption hearing to a very uncomfortable Pinder.
What's the sprinkle?
Here's how it worked. V-Line had millions of taxpayers' dollars to spend on cleaning. Operation Esperance alleges that to make sure the money went to TransClean, it's alleged that Mr. Haratos would bribe Mr. Pinder by arranging secret meetings to give him a sprinkle, aka wads of cash.
The other reason for giving you a call was this coronavirus thing. It's an opportunity, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's gaining a lot of momentum.
Yeah, so I'm thinking it's an opportunity for us to throw you an extra bit of, you know what.
Pinder and Haratos may have used burner phones or cheap disposable mobiles for their chats, but that didn't stop authorities from pouncing. In August, Pinder realised he was being watched, arriving home with IBAC investigators hot on his caboose, warrant in hand. Once inside the door, investigators allegedly found some sprinkles, up to $10,000 worth, that Pinder initially claimed was from a gambling syndicate.
This is a major contractor who is regularly giving you money from that syndicate. Is that the position?
Yes.
The hearings took place after numerous meetings were snapped between Haratos and Pinder, where it's alleged cash was exchanged, more than $300,000 worth. All the while, Pinder was performing the role of CEO, earning his annual salary of $490,000 a year while appearing in videos talking up his achievements.
We've progressed quite well, particularly in our asset management space.
Pinder's personal assets were progressing well too. In December 2018, he allegedly received $100,000 from TransClean that helped pay for a multi-million-dollar beachside home. But when we dropped by, he didn't want to talk about that.
Genuinely, not to be rude, I've always been part of you guys, but I'm not allowed to talk to you.
And so as a current affair took a closer look at the sprinkle-loving Mr. Pinder, Mr. Haratos had his day on the stand. The awarding of questionable contracts aside, there were now doubts cleaning work was being done at all. On this call, Pinder's deputy, Peter Bollis, scolds Haratos for risking exposure.
The state is paying me more now to do more work, which you're not doing. Yeah? Finished. We're paying you to spray them. You're not listening, George.
Business principles aside, Mr. Haratos clearly knows how to make a dollar. We dropped by his multi-million-dollar mansion in Toorak, one of Australia's richest postcodes.
Hello, it's Seb Costello with The Current Affair. We'd like to speak to George.
Haratos wasn't home, but back at Mr. Pinder's, the boss left the BMW in the driveway and was on the move on foot.
Do you feel bad about what's happened?
I'm off to see the doctor. I'm not allowed to talk to anybody. If I talk to you, I'll be breaking the law. So
There's maybe an apology you'd like to express?
I just can't talk to you guys.
As Mr. Pinder attempted to run express through our questions, we tried one last time with some incentives.
We anticipated you might give us donuts, so we brought some donuts. And these will be your favourite because they've got sprinkles on them. Would you like some? I mean, I think that's the question, isn't it? What does it mean to take a sprinkle?
The Anti-Corruption Commission is now considering the evidence and will table a report to Parliament that could recommend charges against some people.